IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy, actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with dangerous animals. Did you know that the most dangerous animal in the UK is a cow? With over 75 human deaths in 15 years. Yeah, it was murder. It was utter destruction. Yes, I'm going to milk this fun fact for everything it's worth. Okay, I'm going to stop now. See, some of these deaths were by bulls, but most of them were actually by mother cows being ultra protective of their calves. And most of these unsuspecting humans were just people out for their morning strolls with their dogs. And the cows thought that they were after their babies. And the protective mom instinct kicked in, and the humans didn't stand a chance. And that's the thing about mothers, right? That protective nature, that constantly worrying, looking out, looking after their children, day in, day out, even ready to kill for them. And many people refer to this as a thankless job, where you give and give and give and receive almost no gratitude in return for it. Now, of course, there are these moments when everything seems perfect and the love flows between the child and the mummy. However, today, I want to focus on this concept of a thankless job. Or more importantly, that feeling of non-gratitude. You must have heard of me talking about gratitude multiple times on this podcast, where I talk about the power of gratitude and how it is one of the most important emotions to hold in our bodies. How whenever there is gratitude in the body, there is no fear. And I start my morning with a gratitude practice and end my day with a gratitude practice. However, for most people, gratitude is not a normal emotion. For many, many people, the feeling of gratitude is alien. They have not been taught to think about it or to express it. And as a result, they live in a state of entitlement. And when you live in a state of entitlement, you cannot have gratitude in your heart. The problem comes when we do things for others and then we get no gratitude in return. No thank you. No nothing. We feel like the person has taken us for granted. And then we get angry and we think that the world is cruel. What is the point of doing these things for others if they cannot even acknowledge what I did for them? We lose our goodness in the expectations from others. The truth is, they do not know how to acknowledge that gratitude. They haven't heard that episode of Gratitude on the Habit Coach podcast. But that does not mean that you should not be feeling gratitude or being grateful. You must always continue the feeling of grateful and doing the things that help others. Why should you lose your humanity and love and compassion just because someone else can't reciprocate it? So your super simple habit starts by just expecting non-gratitude. Give gratitude, but do not expect it back in return from anyone. Live in a constant state of not expecting gratitude or thanks back for anything that you do. Then when it doesn't come back to you, no problem. But if someone does show you gratitude, it will come as a surprise. It will be the best feeling in the world. Don't get caught in that trap of not giving just because you're not receiving anything in return. You will always receive it, just not from the person you gave it to. Life has this amazing ability to balance out everything. So don't expect it, and it'll come from the strangest places. Just live your life in a constant state of gratitude and surprise. Usually in a podcast, it's me who speaks to you and you who listens. But I've been seeing your comments and it's time. It's me listening to you. Following the overwhelming success of this podcast, the good folks at IVM Podcast Network have decided to come up with a Kannada adaptation of the show. For those who prefer listening to it in that language, do make sure you let your Kannada speaking friends know about this as well. Now, if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. We have a brand new habit coaching online course, quizzes, videos, and a lot more on the website awesome180.com. So check it out now.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcasts Network. On Shunya 1, Sheila Ditya speaks with Sakshi Vij, founder and CEO of Miles Cars, about her entrepreneurial journey. On Cyrus Says Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Sara, Kajol and Antariksh discuss how a passenger with no flying experience lands a plane at the Florida airport. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk analyze the state of abortion policy and access in India. On Naan Curry, Sadaf and Archit explore and celebrate indigenous cheese with Dr. Kurush F. Dalal. And on The Habit Coach, Ashdin shares tips on how to tackle FOMO, We've got some exciting news for you. IVM Podcasts has just launched its merch, and our first line is out now. Head to the IVM Podcasts website and click on the Shop tab to check out our first collection of t-shirts. Do follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Don't forget to rate us on any platforms you're listening on. You can also check us out on YouTube. We are also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and advertising on the network. We would really appreciate if you could spare a few minutes to fill it. It helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: SBI Life Insurance, Jupiter, a digital banking app, and Capgemini. Get the future you want.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.